Let's rip. Hello, students in Social Work 505. Here we are, Friday, September 26th. I want to direct you to where I store some of my syllabus review folders and midterm review folders. I am not actually an influencer, I'm sad to say, but Patti Napolitano, social worker, all one word. This is actually one of the places that I found it's really easy for me to share things with my team members, with my interns. Sometimes I'll be in a session and I'm working on something with a patient and they really love it and they want me to record it. And like just with file sharing, doing public YouTube things has been really easy. So I open share any of my information and you're welcome to follow it throughout your social work career. And I do post any kind of free resources. We know that our resource libraries are changing and what's in them and all that. So if you, all right, I'm going to show you how I got here. I am an elder millennial, which means I learned to code on a green screen. So I just go Patricia Napolitano, social worker. Of course, I know how to spell it. Here's where I work. I'm a provider. There's my LinkedIn. Oh, there we go. YouTube. So there's some therapy tools. These are often things I've talked about either in a session, or this is when I was trolling the Juneteenth tag. I got shut down on Facebook. Or we're just talking about different things that come up in a therapy session. This one is an anxiety workbook that I think I was working with 6 kids at the same time. But I look for Patti Napolitano. I'm on YouTube. And then within the videos, I don't have a playlist for this course, which maybe I could. I just put in the course 505. And if you filter it, these are all the times that I've taught this course. You will see many of the grading problems, but sometimes like this week 2, chapter 1 lecture, there are slides I don't use anymore. The competencies have changed. It's still really helpful, I think, in conceptualizing social work as a profession. And as I teach every single year, students ask questions. So I do try to anticipate what is going to go on and share those in some kind of format. The midterm you could review. It's just available on YouTube. We had some things here that are hidden to students or visible to students or timed or whatever. So this is why, as you can see, this is almost always how Blackboard kind of works for me in Panopto. But today we're going to go over our syllabus. We're going to go to our main page. And if you're looking for it, I would go start here. This is our expanded course selection. If I go to the way that you see it, I have to move all my windows. Let's see, student preview mode. It's not always that different and your screen won't always match, but we can try. Okay, start here. If we open this syllabus, I'm going to really try to be posting a link in here. It has not been working. We're going to try. I'm so sorry. I did come from a retirement home and I'm volunteering at a historical museum. So I know I look a little bit like an autumn goblin, but this is what it's like anyway. And if you're in the social work field, you're going to be working events in crazy costumes. All right, here's the word link. This is whited out because this is on the internet. But there is a link that you can click into that will take you into my motion page. We're gonna stop share and I'm going to highlight it so I can click on it. And then I'm gonna try to find my Zoom window to open my share again. Entire screen, we got it. All right. So if you click on the live link that is within the syllabus, that's the office hours link. You can just click on one of these spots. I don't know why some of them say preferred, okay? But this updates with, I work at a retirement home, I travel, I have time with, I travel around the state of Ohio for my work, so there's times that I'm driving, but there's pretty much availability. So we're gonna look at our academic calendar and see that for fall of 2025, You will have information from me October 20th if you are at a C or lower for this class. Okay. We're not anywhere near this point, and almost every semester there's students who have problems with the textbook because the code gets repeated, or they watched the course link because they were eager beavers and they went in here and they watched a previous semester, which is why I tried to send it out early. And then people who signed up for it, then I couldn't link the course because people were signed up early, So trying to get around the tech issues, you're just going to run into new ones. And that's the thing about this textbook. But the beautiful thing about this textbook, you will come to appreciate, I promise you, after October 20th, you all will be better adjusted to your grad school life. You will have the feedback from all of your professors to see where you need to worry, where do you need to put down the pedal and back the pedal. I, as the professor of the course, have been reassuring you that in this course that I've taught for 9 years, students in my grade book who earn an A, if they spend 40 hours, you're earning an A. Most students, this is beautiful Cengage, it will take a minute, that's okay. This has you can just open your textbook and the class average is 100%, and it'll tell you you have 100%. 16, there's all different people who've done different amount of activities. I can't open you the grade book here, but I can show you the metrics at the end of every single semester. Most people spend like 20 to 30 hours completing the actual coursework. Okay. So this has been an 8-week course. You can catch up if you've been having issues, which is why we're just trying to wrap everything up and encourage you to be using the links now, because it should be working. You should have gone in and purchased the required textbooks from MindTap, who owns Cengage, or Cengage, who owns MindTap. I go to the Cengage login, HepWork, direct social work practice. You cannot use an older version of this. You cannot use a paper version. Because what am I learning? Where is because this is where all of your content is. I do not want to take assignments in front of you. Isn't it beautiful? When you are completing your coursework, we have wonderful IT folks who have set up your introductions. You click in and you complete an easy, seamless Panopto video for your classmates to view. All of you did a wonderful job, by the way, explaining your field experience and what you're hoping to learn, and talking about theories, human behavior in the social environment 503 that many of you are taking alongside of this. I'm sure that you're all going to really enjoy picking 1 or 2 to focus on and then apply to your papers. Chapter 1 reading. So if you click into chapter 1, does it work? Will it work? No, it surely doesn't. That should be a reading. This is beautiful. Let me just move them. Let's show everything that is hidden. And let's edit. Chapter 1. Why am I here? What am I learning? We should be able to see that. Chapter 2. Why am I here? What am I learning? We can see it, right? Okay. Yeah, we have the chapter 1 reading. We have a chapter 2 reading. Okay, sorry. I got a little bit scared that maybe you guys couldn't see them because this is our textbook. You open up your chapter 1 or your chapter 2 reading. That's the main page. These competencies you're going to see throughout this program over and over and over again. Just copy them and paste them into one of your notes. It's terrifying for me to think what kind of hit button for things might happen if I open those notes right now, copy and paste, because you're going to be referring to them. You're going to be referring to them in your internship, in your field contract, in your social work training logs, counselor, social worker, marriage, family, therapist board. Just say it out loud. Preparing for a license. Social workers. Do you see how this is all, it's very difficult to find the specific thing you are looking for on the social work board? E-license site, you definitely want that. There are, here's Real Social Worker, PDF, CSW, MFT log. The following pages, this is from a .gov, can be used. Do you know what you have to cut and paste right in there? Is your social work competencies from your textbook. They are also going to be on every syllabus. And I have to explain to people what I do as a social worker. I've been doing this for 25 years. So I do not love the redundancy and the white speak that we put around all of the competencies. I am somebody who is a trauma therapist for like veterans with head injuries and dementia, you know, and I work with 4-year-olds who have lost a parent or maybe have found the body. So the competencies of social work for me are very crisis and practical related. So for me, when I'm grading you, I am looking to see, are you a person who's going to communicate these topics or in this way and carry out these competencies in a way that your patients will open the door when you are meeting them, okay? Because this course is, no, I'm in the syllabus. This course is Introduction to Generalist Practice with Individuals and Families. So you may be operating a food bank truck. You may be operating a food bank. You may be operating a food bank that has payee services and guardianship services. You may be operating a homeless shelter that works with families and men's prisons and what's the one nobody ever does? Dialectical behavioral therapy, like actual dialectical behavioral therapy. So social work sites and applications are so broad because we apply these competencies to individuals, families, and groups. So every single one of your professors is teaching you this coursework from their area of expertise. And I'm just letting you know how I'm viewing and what the skills I'm looking to serve are, including when you're totally unfunded and you're trying to share resources with people. This is a lot of social work is resource sharing, right? And trying to figure out how to share files with kids who don't have a smartphone and can't download an app. Or maybe they have Wi-Fi access and they have a tablet, but they don't have a telephone, right? Or can't text you. So accessibility and open educational resources are a really big theme. I hope that you'll see here at Cleveland State University. Okay, so part of why this is so maddening is because we have professors who just think about how do we make sure that people who are learning this online can demonstrate the skill? And we have evidence-based practices around online learning. And those take 2 to 3 hours worth of tech learning a day for about 6 months to implement. I have designed electronic health records. So it's been bumpy, but it's bumpy every 1 to 3 years when we change platforms. So in social work, we navigate it, and that means we're flexible. And many of you are coming from traumatized systems, understaffed systems, and I get that. I'm going to show you in our policy what the late policy is. And I just emailed you. We have no late credit, I think, until the midterm on chapters 1 through 4, which we're just supposed to be finishing now. So you have access, framework, attendance, participation. The deadlines are indicated. The instructor will reduce the overall grade 10% for every day late. Many of you have most of your, I'm going to show you my grade book. I have no work done. I gave myself 100 points for my introduction. If you don't have 100 points, that doesn't mean I didn't receive it. If I don't see a video for you at all, I emailed you and said, I don't see a submission. I understand this has been hectic. Some of you, I have seen them, and I'm going through links and still sending you the request. I think I still have a few people I need to send your requests. I do see you, and you are in my paper notebook. I do have some paper notebooks. If you've already done, so probably 70% of you had already logged into the textbook and completed chapters 1 and 2. Some of you had chapters 1 through 4 completed in a Helper Studio video. So I have your names in my book when I graded them. However, some of you submitted between my last grading and when I had to dump all of the data, because I would have had to stop. I had already been on the phone more than 45 minutes with Cengage when they did the reset, and I didn't want to have to get off the phone with them, grade all the paperwork for an hour, and then have to call them the next business day, which was going to be like a Monday. So I had to lose all of the online records. So now that I have the priorities, you can, as of this morning, thank you to the people who emailed me and said you still couldn't see the chapters. So I believe you as students can see chapter 1, which is module 2. So module 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So I think I just opened everything from the beginning of the semester through midterm. Okay, so that's here. The case study analysis is due. That is the midterm, which I want you to do in group, and I have a separate videos for. The video helper studio, some of you already did this, okay? I have your names. I really hope I have your grades. If you have already done the video recording helper studio activity where you opened up a bunch of people, I think it was 6 of you, opened up chapter 1 and just did all of the assignments in there, including attaching a video of yourself responding to someone talking. Please message me in Blackboard if you've done that so I can make sure I have you in here, because I believe there were 6 of you, but I have 4 names. So I don't know if I didn't get to grading 2 of you before we deleted. Okay. But that we actually don't have to do. So this is going to be its own video. This is going to be its own video. And then the midterm and the final, which you'll see in the syllabus, are very, very similar. So after you get your midterms back, which is going to be like here, right? You will be working on those. I will get your midterms back. I will do the final case study, and I'll show you how I would do the midterm to a final with a case. And then you guys have options in there. So we have those videos in here, or those examples in here, module 7. We have the chapters. Oh, midterm. There's instructions. There's 2 case studies to choose from. These are in the syllabus. Here it is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you go to the end of the syllabus, here's the weekly assignments. I know that this is not there. There's so many Haleys and there's so many home with the holidays. So I will get that updated. Someone else messaged me. Thank you. Midterm. This is when October 17th is. Do you see this? Course linkage problems. This is in your syllabus that the due dates have been extended to October 17th, which is when your midterm is due. Your midterm is right up here. I did not go through and put down every single due date in here. Follow along. This is why it's supposed to be opening and closing, because if you open on Saturday, it's supposed to be one at a time. So we're going to have all of these weeks open. We're going to take the midterm. Everyone's going to take their midterm back, and I'm going to close modules 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you will have each week just open, and you're just going to complete things as they go along. I have required assignments, syllabus, academic calendar, office hours. I think that is what I got. If you wanted to sign up to see me, for example, Thursday at 12:30, you would say, my name is, and I would say, my email is at vikes.csuohio.edu. What is your phone number? The one I should text or call if the link is broken. Okay. What is your email address? I didn't realize it did it twice. Okay. Same one is fine. You don't need to overcomplicate it. Teams or phone, just let me know. I can send, you can say Zoom, you can say FaceTime, you can say Google Meet. If you like Teams, I don't know why, we can just do a good old-fashioned phone call. If you want to do a dial-up, I've done hotline work with the suicide hotline before. If you give me a fake one, it will not actually be able to send you an email address. I think that would be probably the only downside. So that is our current syllabus review. I had no one come in to ask me questions live. I had 3 separate office hours. I'm going to try not to be heartbroken after the frantic emails, but I hope your semester is coming to a lovely hum. I hope all of your classes are doing better than me on Blackboard. And sometimes it's just easier to straighten things out if we do a 10 or 15-minute phone call. That's why I have them on there. I used to require them. I don't, because people just get too stressed about it and get so stressed they forget what we talk about anyway. So be bold. You're already bold. You're enrolling in an MSW program right now. We have worked through Medicaid without Medicaid expansion. We have worked before Medicare allowed outpatient care. We will do this again. Thank you for being so intrepid to join the field right now. It's a really good time out here. We have a lot of fun. We wear costumes.